Mondays are new. Oh, Yorkshire geek got stories for you. Favorite tricks beyond town's grass. Popcorn adventures on time. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and change. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Movies that war and stories that fight. From battles in space to tears in the eye. Epic tales, join those best. Trumpet tells, join the quest. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and change. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Movies that war and stories that fly. From battles in space to tears in the eye. Epic tales, join those best. Drop the couch, join the quest. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and change. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Lights dim, low screens aglow. Toy takes us where dreams flow. Action heroes, villains, dark night. Every scene, hearts delight. Geek myths, giants rise and fall. Time machines, epic brawls. Mondays in blue, with geeks light. Fantasy realms to infinite heights.
Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek. Oh, I haven't changed my colour, have I? Just noticed. Hang on, bear with me. Bear with me. There we go. I forgot to change my colour from Friday Night Appointment with Fear. Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and welcome to episode 81 of Magnificent Mondays. This week we're looking at Elysium. Neill Blomkamp's Elysium, starring Matt Damon, Sharlto Copley, and Jodie Foster. But before we start, Josh Temple's here already. Says, never fear, Maddie's here, but lurking. Does a lot of lurking lately with his harpoon. And Windgrace is in as well. Bringing back Monday Moan for April Fools. Or is April 1st on a Monday this year? I haven't noticed. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Right, so before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube, yes we are. We're live on Rumble, yes we are. And we should be live on Twitch, yes we are. Right. No, it's Tuesday. Well, I won't be doing it then, will I? Right, so explore the description for various links for stuff like merch, such as this smashing t-shirt design, and hat or whatever you want to put this on. Merch, me books. I'll just wave them about. There we go. There's one of them. There we go. And other websites, stuff like that. I'll become a member of the YouTube channel, and you get early access to videos, exclusive emojis, and stuff like that. Is that it? I'm sure I've forgotten something. Super chats and super thanks, you can do those as well. Greatly appreciated. I think that's about it, isn't it? Yeah. So, right, Elysium, off we go. Elysium, there's an old Blu-ray of it. Really good film. I'm a bit of a Neill Blomkamp fan. I've liked all of the films. Loved all of the films I've seen of his. I've not seen Gran Turismo, so I can't comment on that. But the others I've seen, I've really, really liked, including this one. I was going to say something, I forgot what it was. Yes, so Elysium, let's have a look at it though. So from 2013, written, produced and directed by Neill Blomkamp, produced with help from Simon Kinberg, who's everywhere, and Bill Block, whoever he is, never heard of him. Stars Matt Damon, Jodie Foster, Sharlto Copley, Alice Braga, Diego Luna, William Fichtner, and that fella that played the captain of the USS Kelvin in Star Trek 09, whose name I've forgotten, and other people. Who did the music for this? Ryan Ammon. Never heard of him. He hasn't even got a Wikipedia link. Had a budget of $115 million, had a box office of $286 million, so it didn't do that well, really, did it? What were its reception? Critical response, 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, average of 6.5 out of 10. That's not particularly good. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm a big Neill Blomkamp fan, but it seems not a lot of people are. I don't know why, but anyway. Apart from District 9, people seem to like that. And rightly so, because it's really good. I think it was nominated for an Academy Award, wasn't it, District 9, I think. But I don't think Elysium was. I'm just looking here now. No. Didn't get nominated for bugger all. God knows why, because the effects in this film are amazing. They're amazing. But anyway, is that it? Right, we'll get on with it, shall we? We're not going to be watching the film, obviously. We're just going to go through it in a series of stills. I'll try and remember the stuff I've learned. I have gleaned from the special features that's on this, just like behind the scenes documentaries and stuff. No commentaries. It's a bit poo, isn't it? But the behind the scenes stuff's quite interesting. Right, so we'll get on with it, shall we? Right, so I've got to I'm all a dither again, as usual. Pop that there, pop myself down in the corner. That one, yeah. I can never remember. And we'll fire up the baby, shall we? Right, here we go. Just full screen it, and off we go. Add to stage, there it is. Make sure it's going to come on. There it is. Good old TriStar. Hey. There they are, look, with the... Oh. It's gone off. Let's go back. There we go. With the winged horse. Is it Pegasus or is it one of the others? I don't know. Do we know any of the names of the other winged horses apart from Pegasus? I have no idea. Anyway. Right, off we go. TriStar Pictures presents. Right, oh, here we are. This is supposed to be Los Angeles. I think. Yes, it is supposed to be. There we go. I'm going to get some info. In the late 21st century, Earth was diseased, polluted, and vastly overpopulated, we are told. By the way, there's one scene or one shot in this that it must have been homage in Blade Runner, because it's almost exactly like a thing from Blade Runner. But anyway. So this is Los Angeles, and there we go. We're seeing. It's not looking well, is it? But let's see if there's going to be any more. There we go. Earth's wealthiest inhabitants fled the planet to preserve their way of life, and we're going to be shown Elysium. There it is. Was it built by Mercedes? I don't know, but there it is. Elysium, a huge space station in orbit with a habitable ring. It must have been inspired by... It says it wasn't, But it must have been Halo. It must have been inspired by Halo. Because Neill Blomkamp originally were going to direct the Halo film. Remember back in the day, this is before District 9. I think like a couple of years before District 9. They were going to direct a Halo movie, which was going to be produced by Peter Jackson. Remember all that? And they even had got down to doing. No, it did. They did a like a proof of concept film, like a short, didn't they, about it, which were really, really good. But the film never happened. And some of the stuff, some of the weapons and things like that, and the designs, sort of like went into District 9. And I think some others of them have gone into this as well, including Elysium, which just looks like the Halo, doesn't it, really? But anyway. So here we are. There we go. There's the... I'm pressing the wrong button. This is Elysium. All the rich people from Earth live here. There we go, on Elysium. And all the people like me had lived back on Earth. And hang on, see this. But I love the effects are amazing. I love the way they look. They're very. I don't know. They're like out of a sci-fi art book. I've got one over there. I should have pulled it out, shouldn't I? Because I can't remember any of the artists. I'm blanking on names of famous sci-fi artists, but it looks like straight out of there, doesn't it? Like I said, with the spaceships and stuff. It looks really, really cool. Super detailed work. But anyway, and then we cut to a young Matt Damon. It's called Max, is his character. Don't ask me who plays the kid. They're speaking in Spanish. As I said, it's supposed to be Los Angeles. Justin 34's here. Happy Monday. Don't like that band. So this is where we learn that they're all poor. There he's looking at animals in a book, and he can't speak. He can't speak. He can't read. It's all in Spanish anyway. But his friend Frey, not Archmage. There she is. His friend Frey. Is going to show her name? Just no, man's not saying it. I think she teaches him how to read. And they become lifelong friends, and she writes their initials on his hand. There we go. Because he promises to take her up to Elysium one day. And there we go. F and M forever. She does like a circle. And later on in his life, he has it tattooed. But Frey and Max. As I said, not Archmage Frey. Right, so, and this is where we learn that he's been stealing things as a kid. So all his life he's been, a bit of a scallywag, and I say he's living in an orphanage run by nuns. And then we're going to get a look up into the sky to Elysium, which can even be seen in the daytime. See, it's that big. Anyway, there we go. One day I'll buy a ticket. There we go, up to that place. But she shows him. She says, "Oh, it looks beautiful from Earth." But she gives him a little locket, and she says, "Look at this. If you get up there, look at this, and then you'll see where you came from. And see how beautiful it is where you came from." So he looks at it, and it's a picture of Earth from space. And here we see now they live up on Elysium. They've got strawberries and stuff, and they're all super attractive. Do they live forever? I don't know. We're told that they've got these machines here, these medical machines, where you just hop in. It's a bit like a sarcophagus from Stargate. That's what they're a bit like. You just hop in, cures you of all your ills, and it says nobody gets old and dies. So I don't know. There's some really old people on Elysium. I don't know. I don't know how long it's been there. It doesn't say when it was built. It just said late 21st century. The main film is set in the mid 22nd century. But anyway, so there we go. So they do this scanning stuff, looking at it, checking her out and making her better. But anyway, and then we cut to modern day, or whatever. Not modern. Well, now. Well, 2154 is what it's the year it's set in. And there's Matt Damon as Max, all grown up, and getting ready to go to work. And we see that he's got he's been in trouble. There we go. It's showing he's got an ankle bracelet. So he's on parole, and he's going to work. He's being given a job. And here we see Los Angeles. in 2154, lots of fires and stuff like that. And they call it the favelas, which I thought was a Portuguese thing, because you think of, when you think of favelas, you think of Sao Paulo and places like that in Brazil where they speak Portuguese. But anyway, it lives in the favelas of Los Angeles, but it were actually filmed in Mexico City. That's where it was actually filmed. Let me get that right. Yes, in Mexico City. Yes, all the Los Angeles exteriors were filmed in Mexico City. All of the Elysium exteriors were filmed in British Columbia in Canada. So there we go. Right, so here we go. See, pegging out the washing. So he's off to work now. There's some young ruffians mocking him because he's off to work. He's playing with some kids. They're asking for money. He says, "I've got no money," and he tips up these kids. Says, "See what money you've got." So he's just playing with them. They're all queuing up to go to work. And then we see they've got these robots, police robots, because it's Neill Blomkamp. He likes his robots, doesn't he? I.e. Chappie. But here we see that they're searching the random people in the queue. They're searching their bags and stuff. And he gets targeted. But he's joking with them. But obviously the robots, so they don't take a joke. And he gets his arm broken. Actually, they break his arm, look like that. And but he keeps joking with them. But anyway, he's late. So this means he's going to be late for work because he's got to go immediately to the parole. I think he goes to hospital first, gets his arm seen to. Then he's to go to his parole officer, and then he's to go to work. Here he's in. I think this is the hospital. This. By the way, the hospitals, well, in Los Angeles at least, are all overrun. People keep wanting to go up to Elysium for their super medical stuff, which we're going to see in a moment. But obviously they don't have the same technology down on Earth as they do up on Elysium. This movie is essentially an immigration allegory, and you know, talking about like people from Mexico wanting to get into America, or people from wherever trying to get, you know, boats across the English Channel into the UK, stuff like that. This is what it's an allegory of. Anyway, so he's in hospital. There he meets Frey. She's all grown up and played by Alice Braga. And I'm trying to think, what else have I seen her in? She was in Predators, wasn't she? What else has she been? She's been in loads of stuff, hasn't she? But I was blanking. All I can think of were Predators. But anyway. So they have a little chat. So, "Oh, you've come back." Because she must have left town. And she's come back. She's got a daughter. I can't remember if she says what happened to the father of the daughter. I don't know. But anyway. He's got a broken arm. She just puts this on. He ends up with a cast on it. But he's asking her out to dinner and all that to, you know, to catch up. But she kind of fobs him off. And but anyway, but eventually she does agree to go for coffee with him on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Anyway, so this is that bit there. Anyway, so there we go. So they're all fine. Right, so it's parole office now with the parole robots. There they are. So he's got to explain it all. And he basically just gets another 8 months added onto his parole. It wasn't even his fault. Just because he made a joke with the robots. And they won't listen to him. They keep saying, "Stop speaking," and they just keep, you know, spewing all this stuff to him. And they said, "Would you like to speak to a human?" Then eventually he says, "No, thank you. I would not like to speak to a human." And he goes, "Are you mocking me?" And all that stuff. There you go. Anyway, so goes to work with his cast. And they try and send him home. He says, "I can't afford to go home, so I'm all right. I can manage." So that's fair enough. But I'm docking you half a day's pay, he's told. And he works at a factory where they build the robots that have just broken his arm. So here we are. Let me see. That's William Fichtner. Is that how you pronounce his name? I have no idea. I can't remember the name of his character. John Carlyle is the name of his character. He owns the company. which I can't remember the name of, Armatech or something like that, that builds a lot of things for Elysium and builds things on Earth, like the robot police and all that stuff. And weapons and all that palaver. Right, so anyway, we learn that Max operates a machine. Well, it does all sorts of things. He like presses out bits of metal and fastens them onto the robots, and then he puts them into this big machine that I think it does something. It blasts them with radiation. I don't know why, but it just does. Maybe it's a form of curing. I don't know, but that's what it does. Here we see his Carlisle's talking to other executives. I presume they're up on Elysium, and he's not happy with having to be down on Earth, dealing with his company. We can see they've got implants, a bit like Neuralink, the Elon Musk thing. They've got implants where they have information stored directly into their brains and stuff. Armadyne, there we go, not Armatech, Armadyne. So here we go, we see him, here he's working away on a press, and then he fastens them onto the robots, and then takes them over to this machine that get blasted radiation. And a lot of the machinery doesn't work properly. There we go, fire in 34, and then we see blast. It turns out it's radiation. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just heat. But then later in the subtitles it says radiation hissing or something like that. Right, so now we're at a place where they've got some ships, and people are rushing onto the ships. It's like that they've paid to try and get a ticket up to Elysium. So do they think they're going there legally? I don't know, but anyway, so they're going up. They're paying the money to go on this ship, and what they do, they put on a like a burn on an identification tag. Is it going to show it? Here we go. Burner ID. That's what they do. Look, burn that onto their hands, arms, for reasons which you're going to see, and then they get them aboard the super cool spaceships that they've got. There they are. All run from this grungy base, led by this fella Spider, not Spider from Bad News. If you know, you know. What's his name? Because this is one of these faces that you've seen. Oh, he's Wagner Moore. I'm probably mispronouncing that as Spider. I don't know what I've seen him in. So obviously this is illegal. It's like, as I said, like the people trying to cross the English Channel on little boats, and some of them drown and all that, don't they? Or crossing the Mediterranean to get into Italy. We see it all over the world, don't we? It's obviously like that. Here we go, there we go, they're taking off. A lot of these effects, by the way, when we see these ships and stuff taking off, they actually had real helicopters, and they basically just covered up the helicopters with the special effects. Right, off it goes, up into space, dead cool, and we're heading to Elysium. And I'm guessing Elysium has no weapons on it, which is weird, to defend itself. But there we see Jodie Foster. She's a baddie. She plays Delacour. She's the Secretary of Defence. That's what she is on Elysium. Let me see. They're all living the life of Riley, look, with robot butlers and all that stuff. Sorry, bit of coconut. I've just had a Bounty chocolate bar with coconut in. Anyway, so she gets interrupted from this party that she's at, because the 3 ships are inbound from Earth, unauthorised ships. There we go. So she basically just, she's got to deal with that. And they mustn't have any weapons on, because she sends a message to Earth to activate Kruger, which is the Sharlto Copley character. Here they come. Cool stuff. There we go. You've made unauthorised entry to Elysium airspace. There isn't any air. Well, there is on Elysium, but not around it, because they're in orbit, but whatever. It's just Elysium space, shouldn't they? But never mind. So they're getting warned off, but obviously they're not stopping. So she activates Kruger. Now she'll be unauthorised to use our assets on Earth, she's told. And then she says, I'm giving you the authority. Says, okay, fair enough. So they activate Kruger. Here he is, Sharlto Copley. Pardon me. Who you may know from District 9. Elysium Space. Yes, that's what it should be. Sharlto Copley, you may know from District 9. He played Vickers van der Murder on Merve, whatever, on District 9. That's a character who was the hero of the main character of the film, but the hero of the film. But it wasn't a particularly nice person, was he? Similar sort of things going on really in Elysium, where we've got Matt Damon's a personable character, but he's not particularly nice in this either. Although he does the right thing and all that, and by the end, but he's a criminal, maybe a petty criminal, but anyway, whatever. Right, she's activated Kruger, and you can see he's got all implants and stuff, and looks all grungy. And he goes over to this battered old truck. It's supposed to be 2154, mid 22nd century. Enterprise NX-01's out there at this time, but never mind. But they've got all old, seemingly 20th and early 21st century cars still knocking about, which is weird. It kind of reminds me of Doctor Who Dalek Invasion Earth 2150 AD, when they were still pootling about in Bedford vans and stuff like that. But never mind. And eating sugar puffs. Anyway, so they've activated him, told him what's going on. So he brings out this rocket launcher, which can launch a rocket into orbit, into space. So he fires, I think he fires off 4 of them. 4 of the buggers. Here we go. There we go, off they go. So good enough to get up into space, those. Missiles away. So I'm guessing they've done this because later on in the film, another ship goes and gets aboard Elysium, unopposed. So why didn't they just put defensive weapons on Elysium? I have no idea. But anyway, so these ships get shot down by Kruger's missiles. They're all just poor people, just wanting a better life. Some of them, they're wanting to go and live on Elysium, but some of them are just wanting use of the medical things that are up there, which we're going to see in a bit. Because one of the ships does get through. 2 of them get blown up. Is it going to show it? Hang on. There we go. Here we go. It's going to get... hang on, he's going to miss that one. There we go. We see it from a distance, look. One gets blown up. I think one got blown up earlier as well. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, no, blown up. Poor lady with a tattooed forehead. They blow another one up, and then this last one, it avoids the missile. There we go. The last one was a miss. And it gets through. So they've no defensive screens or anything. They can just fly in. And what's holding all the atmosphere in? That's what I want to know, but never mind. They come down, breached our atmosphere. As I said, what's holding it all in? Why isn't it all just boiling off into space? I don't know. Is it just the centrifugal force that's keeping it there? I don't know. Anyway, it comes down and lands. I said, it's Halo, isn't it? It's Halo. But in the documentaries on the Blu-ray, it's saying, I've had this idea since I saw a programme on National Geographic in the 70s or something like that. Or read it in National Geographic in the 70s with artwork by Sid Mead of this big ring, a big torus they call them, a big torus with people living on the inside of the ring. And I have seen that as well. I think I've got it in a book over there somewhere. I should have dug it out, shouldn't I, and found it, but never mind. You know what? I'm going to do it now. If I know where the book is, I think I can see it. I'm going to see if I can find it. Bear with me. We're live. I don't care. Actually, no, it's not there where I thought it was. Might be in here. Come here, bugger. I'm back. I found my book. I'm sure I've seen it in here. I might not have done them. This could all be a lie. But I'm just going to flick through this and see if it jumps out at me. But I'm sure I've seen something like this in here. Hey, lots of cheeky pictures in there. Speaking of Pegasus, well, you don't know what I'm on about. You don't know what I'm looking at. Chris Foss, that's one of the artists I was thinking of. Does a lot of sci-fi art, doesn't he? Come on, I'm sure I've seen it in here somewhere. Just bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves while I look through this book. That's one of my favourite pictures. That where can you see it? Hang on. Like missionaries from Earth go to another planet. Christian missionaries from Earth go to another planet, and the aliens, the inhabitants of that planet, crucify him. Oh dear. Do you think I did see it, or do you think I dreamt it? Oh, I saw it in another book. Could have done. Is that a Chris Foss one? No, that's a Chris Moore one. Never mind. I'm just going to flick through now, see if it jumps out at me. I bet it's not in after all this. I bet it's not blooming in. I'm sure I remember seeing it though. But not there neither. Dee. Oh dear. Queen album cover there. If you know what it is, you know what it is. The picture there that I've drawn. Not after, I mean I've copied it. No, I'm not going to find it, am I? I'm not going to find it. Could have swore it were in here. No, I'm not going to. It's not going to be in it. No. Well, I'm miffed now. I'm sure it were in here. I'll check afterwards, and I'll bloody find it. I'll bloody find it afterwards. No, it's not there. Could have swore it were in this. Never mind. Right, whatever. Right, where were we? Justin says, I always enjoy this movie. It's just fascinating. It's also a plausible future. It is very realistic. But Neill Blomkamp always says he didn't want to make it look realistic, even though it kind of does. He always wanted to make it look metaphorically realistic, whatever that means. But anyway, right, the landing. They all pile out and immediately get incapacitated by security robots that come out. Here they come. Looks really cool, I must admit, great effects. But she slips, she gives them the slip. And she's got a daughter who's got something up with her legs because she's on crutches. So she runs into one of the houses. These houses that are on Elysium, obviously they don't worry about security because they can just smash the windows. Later on, when somebody just puts a plant pot through a window. Anyway, she pops her daughter on the in the medical thing, and it scans this automatically, and it says, "Oh yes, she is a citizen." Here we go, citizen C. Chavez, and she's obviously got broken bones in her legs. Look, and it instantly fixes her. It's amazing technology. It really is. 'Cause later on, in a proper gory thing in this film, somebody gets the face fixed. This is probably the most implausible part of the film, to be completely honest, this medical thing. It's like magic. But anyway. Right. Anyway, so she's cured and she's fine and they're all happy, but then the robots come in and take him away, and I presume they just get sent back to Earth. I'm guessing. There you go. It says there, didn't it? Deportation. Get them off this habitat. And another cool shot. Here we go. Cool shot of the hangar bay. Looks amazing. There we go. Really, really good effects. Really, realistic looking. And that one is this as well. I love this shot as well. It's just the robot watching as the ship takes off and heads out. Just looks amazing. Does really looks amazing. Why didn't this get nominated for any awards? Well, it did get nominated for awards, but just not Academy Awards. But never mind. Yes, a bio bed. Yes. Anyway, right. So Max coming home from work. Here we meet his friend, played by Diego Luna. I forgot his friend's name. Julio. Who's got like double pigtails for some weird reason. But anyway, he's Max's friend, and he's trying to get him to do one last job for him, but he's just joking. Right, so there he is having a rest, and off back to work the next day, but the machine's not working properly. He's put some robots in to be radiated, but the door doesn't shut. There we go, he's shutting the door, and it jams, and it's the pallet or something that they're on, it's out of alignment or something, so the door's jammed. And then we go, you're holding up the line, and the foreman tells him to go in and fix it himself. Obviously, he mustn't be allowed to, or maybe he can't just turn it off, open the door again. I don't know, but so he jumps in. Well, don't jump in. He gets in, and obviously the door closes on him. There we go, and it starts doing its radiation thing. So he gets a lethal dose of radiation. There we go. They shut down the entire plant now, and he wakes up. He's down there. I thought we were going to get burned, but he doesn't. Anyway, they drag him out. Send a robot in to drag him out. But he's not dead. But he will be in 5 days. Alright, then he has some little flashbacks of when he was a kid. There we go, we're seeing the pendant, the locket he were given by the nun. Behave yourself, you! Sorry, my cat's coming, scratching. There you go. Never forget about where you come from, the nun told him. So he's just thinking about that. Now he's in the medical room in the factory with a robot doctor. There we go. You're being exposed to a lethal dose of radiation. We learn he's got 5 days to live. He will die in 5 days. He's got to sign a form, so they give him some medicine. William Fichtner's not happy. John Carlyle. He comes down with his robot security in tow. He's not a nice person. They go, what's going on? Why has production stopped? And the foreman starts telling him, he says, don't breathe at me. He's going to say it here, look. Don't breathe on me, cover your mouth. He don't like being on dirty earth. Obviously he doesn't care about poor Max. He just says, well, get him out of here. And he says he's not going to melt onto the sheets or anything, is he? Because they don't want to buy new sheets. So just get him out of here. So there we go. There you go, get him out. Anyway, he's off up to Elysium. He's John Carlyle. So there they go. They're giving these tablets that says this will, he'll be able to function for 5 days and then he'll die of radiation poisoning. Another cool shot. I'm sure this is an actual. I'm sure I've seen this photo on NASA. It looks very. I'm sure that is an actual NASA photo, because them clouds look very familiar. Anyway. More cool shots of Elysium. Oh, aye, Delacorte's getting played pop with by the council, including the president. There he is. Oh, I'll tell you his name. Wingrace knows his name, but President. Farhan Tahir, who plays President Patel. He played Captain What's-His-Face of the Kelvin. I can't remember his name either. I'll tell you in a minute. Cracky 2009 were a long time ago, wasn't it? God, he's been in a lot of stuff. Let me scroll down. Keep scrolling. There we go. Captain Robbo. That's it. Captain Robbo or Robbow, however you pronounce it. There, she's getting played pop with. They've killed civilians and stuff, and it's telling you activated an agent, Mr. M. Kruger, and we're not supposed to be using him, and they tell her to deactivate him and all that stuff. So she's getting a dressing down. She's saying, well, I'm here to protect you, and you'll just sit here doing bugger all. But there you go. That's her final warning. They've got to discharge Kruger. So Kruger's being fired, basically. And so Kruger's getting sent that message. There he is, Kruger, up on his balcony, frying whatever he's frying and drinking beer. With his sword that he uses. And then he gets the message, he's been discharged. Report to HQ for debrief, because he's got to take his weapons in. There you go, please return all weapons. So he gets a bit cross then. There we go. Shouting up at... hang on, let's go back again. Oh, is he going to show it? What? There we go. He's looking. You can just see it there. He's looking up at Elysium there. You can just make it out there. Screaming at it. Anyway, right, Max is coming home. They just sent him home, walking, don't even give him a lift. Just walking home from work, irradiated. And he collapses, and Julio goes to check on him. Gets him home, and throwing up and all that stuff. Says, I've got to go see Spider. I've got to get up to Elysium. So he gives him his tablets. I've got to go see Spider. I've got to get him, get up to Elysium. They can cure him. This is where we learned that Frey's got a daughter. Don't know her name either. What's she called? Matilda. She's got a daughter called Matilda who's got leukemia. She's dying of leukemia. And she's at the hospital. But the hospital tell her she can't stay here. She's got to go back home. Life on Earth's not very nice in 2154. But anyway, is this the shot we're on about? That's just no. This isn't it, is it? Is it? No, it might be later. There's a shot a bit like that, but a bit more expansive. It looks just like from Blade Runner. Anyway, right. So there we go. Julio's taking Max to see Spider, and Spider says, "Okay, I'll give you a ticket up to Elysium. If you'll do this job for me, we're gonna get one of the Elysium executives, and we're gonna kidnap them, plug into their neural thing in my bobs, and get all the information out, because they've got all data and contacts and all that stuff. All about Elysium, so that they can open it up to everybody. That's what he wants to do." And Max says, well, it's got to be John Carlyle, because obviously it's his boss. He wants revenge on John Carlyle, doesn't he? So that's what they agreed to do. Anyway, after a bit of toing and froing and back and forth, so what they're going to do, because he's not well, he says, I've got 5 days to live. So what he's going to do is give him his a mech suit. That's what he's telling him. A bit of technology to get the information right out of the chap's head and take it to him. There you go. Once they verify the data, give you a one-way ride, all expenses paid. So all you have to do is walk into a house, use the med bay. Anyway, it's not looking well. So they're gonna fasten this to him. It doesn't just put it on. Surgically attach it to him. Right. And they're going to stick a thing in his brain as well, so he can take the data from him, from William Fichtner, from John Carlyle. Right. So now he's gone up there to see Miss Delacour, because she's got a proposal for him. She wants him to rewrite Armadine or something. Must have written the software that controls Elysium, and she wants him to write an update for it that essentially gives her control, and they're going to get rid of the president. She's basically she's performing a coup. She wants to get rid of the president, and the new president will be super grateful to him, and he'll have the contracts for 200 years and all that stuff. So he says, okay, fair enough. So he's going to rewrite the operating system for Elysium. Anyway, so that's what she's doing there, because she's a baddie. There we go, rewrite a reboot sequence and shut down the entire system. And he's going to store it in his brain, which is lucky for the plot of the film, isn't it? Pardon me. Lucky that they just happen to be wanting to do this heist thing just at this time. Anyway, right, so they're going to either give him the old thing on his arm. Have I missed it? I've gone past it. Where is it? There we go. Give him the ID thing so he can use the med bays. Cut off his cast. And now they're just going to attach this this thing to him, this mech suit or whatever you want to call it. And they say it'll hurt, but I think they knock him out. And there we go, cutting him up. They're fastening that to his head. Lots of big screws going into his body in this. There we go. But anyway, they're fastening all this to him and booting him up. And there he is, and he comes round and he's okay. The surprise is alive. Anyway, right, so they're to get ready for this job. So off they go in a bit. But first off, here's John Carlyle rewriting the boot program for Elysium. 10 Delacour is a biatch. 20 go to 10. Oh dear. So there you go. And then he's saving it into his neural net thing. There we go. Sabre, would you like to protect this data? It says yes, so that's going to scramble it. Which they kind of forget about later on. They remember it, but then forget about it at the right time. But never mind. And there we go. So when it tries to access it, it's lethal security. It'll kill them if they don't have the right codes. So it's going to go into there. There we go. I've just noticed he's got that there. Riche. Why has he got that? I've no idea. It doesn't explain it, I don't think. Why he's got that on his skin. I have no idea. Some form of, like a tattoo, I don't know. But anyway. Right, so they're getting ready to go on this job. This fella looks familiar. And I don't know the name of the character. But I've seen him in something else and I don't know what. See if I can find him on here. Of course it is, yes. Yes, it's Adrian Holmes, isn't it? Yes, it's Admiral what's his face? Oh God, why am I blanking? The first captain of the Enterprise on Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Windgrace, tell me, I've forgotten his name. Yeah, I'm blanking. Whatever, it's him anyway. Adrian Holmes. He's part of the crew that's going with them. Robert April, that's the fella. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Justin. He's next month. April. Yeah. I'm thinking, what are you on about? Dear. Right, so off they go. He's saving that to his brain. And then he's going to head up to Elysium. So he's going to jump in his shuttle, which is a Bugatti, we learn. We've got some of the ammo. They've got explosive rounds that they're going to fire. It looks Russian, doesn't it? Looks Russian, got Cyrillic text. They're going to fire at his shuttle, and it'll crash. And then they'll go and intercept him, and all this technology that they've got's all old and like battlefield technology. It's like the smart guns off Aliens. It's them sort of displays, isn't it? Right. So anyway, off they go. There he was getting into his shuttle, which is a Bugatti. As you can see, as we'll see from the logo, there it is. It's a Bugatti. Wonder how much that cost them. I wonder if Bugatti let them have the name just for the advertising. I don't know, but anyway, off it goes. He's got 2 robots with him as guards. Off it goes. Anyway, they fire the. Have they done it? There we go. He fires the. Oh, I missed it. There we go. The explosive round, and it embeds in Carlisle's ship. Anyway, they set off, and then they go there. They blow it up. So it's going down now. She's watching from Elysium. So she gets in touch with Kruger. Obviously, he's not happy with her. Miss Delacour, how lovely to hear your voice. Talking in his South African accent, kind of guttural, kind of shitty accent, That's Lethal Weapon too, isn't it? She kind of reactivates him, so to speak. So, saying I can have whatever I want, and all that stuff. Anyway, so he's got to go and save John Carlyle, and she sends a ship with two of his friends as backup. So there you go. I've recommissioned 2 of your preferred agents, and they're on their way. So here they are. Look, there they are. Another cool shot. Hang on, let's go back again. There we go. The ship landing. As I said, they did it with helicopters. They just landed a helicopter there and then painted the spaceship over it. So there we go. So off he goes, and right. So they're going in, but the robot. They've got the robot security, which are done. The fellas in them motion capture suits. That's what the robots are, and then they're obviously painted over. So they're having a jolly old time shooting each other. Does he get this? Oh, right, gets this one with this bullet. I don't know. They find these bullets and they explode near it and just disintegrate this robot, which is cool. Right. So anyway, they open it up and they say, "Hang on, here we go." It says, "Don't move. We've got something to do." But then another robot comes and they start shooting. And Adrian Holmes, Manuel is his character's name. There we go. Just starts shooting blindly. There we go. This big gun, and obviously hits John Carlyle. Here we go. They're going to show it. Don't hit the mark. And obviously that's exactly what he does. See, I've gone too far. Look, there we go. They get rid of this other robot in a bit. He just rips its head off. There we go. They have a fight, and because the mech suit makes him as strong as one of those robots. You can hear all the servos going as he's fighting him, and he just rips its head off. But then they find out he's dying. So, oh God, they haven't hit his brain, have they? So, no, they haven't. So they plug him in before he dies. And he's telling him, "You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you all that." Anyway, they put all the information into Matt Damon. It was also in Stargate SG-1, by the way. He has 2 lines. Well, I don't know. I can't remember. There you go. You have no idea what you're doing. Anyway, they get the information into Matt Damon. But he can't actually. It's all scrambled, and obviously it's got that lethal thing as well, so it does something to hurt him. But anyway, that says some more security's on its way. She shuts down all the computers. Does Delacour that jams all their signals and stuff, so they lose their monitoring stuff. The spider. There you go. They're saying that they can't access it. Cerebral defense sounds like something from RoboCop, doesn't it? Saber, cerebral defense. So they can't read the data. Anyway, so they make a run for it. There you go. Let's get out of here. But then Kruger's arriving with his men. They just start, taking out the who they perceive as bad guys. There's Max suddenly has a splitting headache because of all the information. Pardon me. Anyway, so this fella's shooting at him. But he gets, he says, I'm releasing the girl. He says something like that. And Oh, no, that's later on. What is it? I think he just fires some little things. I don't know. We'll see it in a minute. Have I missed it? Have I gone too far? Wouldn't it? A fella gets blown up. Is it him? Right. There we go. You blow him up. They like fired like a little hockey puck at him, and it stuck to him, and then blew him up. It's quite gruesome in places, this film, I must admit. The Max and Julio are escaping in the car, and Kruger fires these at him, and it flips the car over. Anyway, so they're coming down to deal with it. I think Adrian Holmes gets killed. Matt Damon's going to have a bit of a fight with Kruger, and he gets stabbed. Kruger stabs him. There we go, in the gut. Stabs him in the gut, and but then Julio saves him. But it hits Julio and then stabs Julio with the sword. There we go, and killing him instantly. Kills Julio. Then Matt Damon picks up the gun and starts shooting him, but he's got a shield. There we go. Got like an electromagnetic shield. And he's using the bullets that destroyed that robot. So that knocks him off his feet. Gives Max time to get to Julio, but he's dead. Then what happens? I can't remember. Matt runs off. Max. Max runs off. Then she's saying, apprehend him, but do not damage his brain. And we learn that John Carlisle's died, and nothing they could do about that. There we go. Max is heading out into the streets, the favelas, and this nice lady with some pigs in a cart says, "You can hide under my cart," because obviously pigs are amazing for blocking scans or whatever. I don't know, but they don't see him for some reason. There we go. They see the scanning for him. They can't find him, and they just fly over. There we go. He's underneath the pigs. Anyway, so they take us back to the crash site, mate. Anyway, so he thanks her and carries on his way, and he heads to the hospital. Oh, this might be the shot we're on about. It just reminds me of Blade Runner, because I think we see the ship. Just reminded me of Blade Runner, that. Anyway, so they're still looking for him. I think this is where he launches his drones. There we go. I'm going to let the girls go out, so he launches some drones. There they go. Pew! Cool. It's now where she shuts down she creates a no-fly zone over Los Angeles. That's what she does. Nobody's allowed out of the city, and this is where they lose. There we go. They lose their signal, so they can't use their big computers. Right, so he's heading to the hospital. There he sees Frey. Just happens to see her walk by a window. How many people are in that hospital at that time? He just happens to see her walk by that window. But then he collapses outside, and Frey's about to take her daughter home. And she says, "I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out and get the car." She says, "Be right back." And she just happens to go out just where Max is. There we go. And you see, he goes, "Frey." He says, "Oh, crikey, what happened to you?" So she said, "I've got to get you inside." He said, "No, I can't go in there. People are trying to kill me and all that stuff." So she takes him home to her house. Here we go. Patches him up at her house. She's got a daughter, by the way. She's put her in the bedroom. She says, "I want to see the poorly man." Anyway, so she patches him up. He's having more flashbacks. So when they were kids, Frey and Max forever, etc. Anyway, so next morning, look, he's all patched up. And then she asks him, she says, "Can you get me and Matilda up to Elysium, because she's got leukemia?" He says, "I can't." And he says, "You've got the thing on your arm." She says, "But this only works for me, it won't work for her." So he says, "I can't, I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that, and I'm sorry, nothing I can do." And then Matilda talks to him and tries, telling him a story. She puts one of her bandages on him. She sees that he's hurt, and she's being all lovely and nice, and she's telling him a story about a hippo and a meerkat. And the hippo helps the meerkat because everybody wants a friend, and then but he just says, "I'm sorry, I can't help you. I've got to go." So off he goes. But they spot him, or one of the drones spots him. There it is, and so they know where he is. So they zero in on him. He destroys one of the drones, but they know where he's been. So they burst into Frey's house. Here they are. Bursting into Frey's house, they see that she's been treating somebody. She says, "I didn't mean to traumatise your young daughter." That's how he talks in his South African accent. Let's have a listen. He's got a great accent. I love Sharlto Copley. I haven't seen him in anything for ages. He was all over the place, wasn't he? After District 9, the A-Team and this, and he kind of then dropped off the map, didn't he, for a while?
Sorry to come bursting into your home.
Sorry to come bursting into your home. I love the South African accent, it's amazing. Anyway, so he's asking her all about, Max and that, what he hears. She says, "I don't know where he's gone." That's what she's saying there. And then he starts slapping her about a bit. But she says she doesn't know. He was injured, he was hurt, I helped him, and then he left. I don't know where he's gone. So they take her and Matilda essentially as hostages. That's what they're going to do. Lots of times people disappear like that. They're doing a random show, nobody watches. Quite possibly. I don't know. I haven't looked him up. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what he's been in recently. Sharlto Copley. Opening new tab. What's he been up to? What's he been... Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. He's been in Curb Your Enthusiasm, 2 episodes last year. Monkey Man. Don't know. Boy Kills World, Beast. He was in Russian Doll for 3 episodes. So he's done quite a bit of stuff. There's nothing I've seen. Nothing I've seen. But he's kept busy. Oh, Hardcore Henry. I've actually got that over there, and I've never watched it. It's like a first-person view movie, innit? I've never got around to watching it. I've got it over there. Obviously, Chappie were in that one, too. Oh, I were in Maleficent. Of course, he played King Stefan, didn't he? He were horrible in that. He were a baddie, wasn't he? Oh, we're in Old Boy. I presume that's the remake. Old Boy. Yeah, so he's kept busy. Oh, there we go. Where's District 10? That's where I want to know. Anywho, where were we? Oh, yes, they're taking them away. So, right, so they take her, pop her in the ship. He heads back to Spider, and so we've got to get up there. There we go. Got to go get up there. Obviously, he doesn't know what's happened to Frey. But anyway. So that's what he's going to do. They're trying to access the data, and this way he just says, this is, it'll open up the place and make everyone a citizen of Elysium, so everybody can access their medical stuff. District 9 3/4 Harry Potter crossover, please. Christopher Johnson just pops up at, is it King's Cross station where that platform is? On the Hogwarts Express. Anywho, so that's what we're learning. This stuff's gonna do. I says, they're trying to hack through the system, Jam. It'll take them 5 days. I haven't got 5 days. I need to get up there now. He says, they'll just be shot down. I says, well, got to... so then he has the idea. He's gonna surrender to them. So that's what he's gonna do. So off he goes. They're trying to stop him, but he just beats a couple of people up. He says, let him go, and he puts a tracker on him, and off he goes. Meanwhile, she's scared. Kruger is a psycho, a proper psycho in this. And he's trying to be nice to her. Probably in his mind, he's trying to be nice to her. But he's just coming across all rapey, essentially. There we go. So I never had a wife myself, too much temptation. But anyway, so they're flying about. There he finds the drone that he damaged, and he's there's no audio, but he's like pointing to his head and mouthing at them. So they come and land, and he gives himself up to them. There they go. So they're going to head up to Elysium. Come up where there's nice hair's nice and clean. But he's got a grenade, and he pulls the pin and says, "If you do anything, I'll blow my head off." So anyway, so off they go up to Elysium. And she obviously Delacour says, "Okay, we've got to let them come." So turn off the no-fly zone. So all suddenly the jamming stops. And they get all the computers back. There we go. We're back. So they're heading up into space, still holding his grenade. Right, so they decide they're going to go, and they're following him now. So they're going to pile into their spaceship. Luckily, everybody's got a spaceship. Off they go. There we go. All go piling into their cool graffiti-covered spaceship. She's got mad hair, hasn't she? Bless her. Anyway, this is Kruger's ship arriving. So there we go. Off it goes, and but then they have a bit of a fight in the cabin. Here we go, because he's trying it on with her again, and so they're going to start fighting, and they're going to lose control of the ship. There we go. So it ends up rolling about like that. And how they did this, they actually did roll them about. There we go. All go flying about like that, and it were on a set. They built a set of the inside of the cabin that could just rotate, and they did it, and it could actually go up to 60 revolutions a minute. It's like quite fast, once a second. But obviously they didn't go that fast, but they did tip them about a bit. I'm guessing there were stuntmen inside. I don't know, but so they're rolling about and fighting, and the grenade is dropped the grenade. And this is where Kruger gets a bit of an injury. Here it goes, the cover up there. Get down! It blows up. More gruesomeness. Are you ready? Hang on. There we go. Add suitability warning on me on this video now. So Kruger's had his face blown off, but he's not dead, believe it or not. He's not dead. Anyway, the ship crashes into somebody's swimming pool, as we'll see in a minute. Here it comes. I love the effects in this film. I really, really do. I think it's amazing. It crashes into somebody's garden. Right, so she's not happy. So she's declares a state of emergency, and she says, because of this, we've been invaded. I'm in charge. Get the president out of here. She's kind of doing her cool thing. There you go. So they get him out. Max gets Frey and Matilda out of there. He has a bit of a fight with one of the chaps. I can't remember the names of them. Let me have a look. I forgot that. Oh, bloody mouse. Drake and Crow. Should remember that. They're both named after birds, shouldn't they? Anyway. Oh, actually, both named after characters from Aliens, aren't they? Drake and Crow. I think there's a crow in there. Sure there is. Yes, there is. I remember seeing it. Anyway, so he gets her out. Says, he says to her, "Get to a bio bed in not bio bed. I forgot what they call them now. What, a med bay? Get to a med bay in one of the houses." He says, "It won't work." He says, "Don't worry, I've got a plan. It'll work." In a bit, but I think she gets captured. Yes, she does. Because he zaps. There we go. He essentially tasers Max. So they get captured, and he goes into her and tasers her as well. So they're captured as well. Right. He comes round, and he's in a facility on Elysium. They've got him strapped down, and they're going to extract the data. Justin says, "Yeah, this movie did have great effects. I think it's got amazing effects." And according to Neill Blomkamp, not that many of them. He says the film of this size and budget would have like 2,000 effect shots or something like that. But he says they didn't have that many. I don't know how many they had, but he says it wasn't that many. But anyway, what we're saying. Oh, yes, they're getting the data out of his head, and obviously it'll kill him. And Delacour doesn't care. She just says, okay, fair enough. There we go. You can still pull the data out of him, which will kill him. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Oh, that's fine. She says, that's fine. So she says, she leaves them to it. And she says, and get these two out of here. So, right, so they're taking Kruger to a med bay. You can hear him wheezing. He's still alive. He's wheezing. Kind of reminds me a bit of that fella in The Fly 2 that gets his face melted off by Martin Brundle, not the racing driver. Gets his face melted off, and he's still alive in that film. Actually, that reminds me of it. But anyway, right. This is Spider's ship. There we go, heading in. But obviously, they've no Kruger on the ground to fire missiles at them. And they just arrive. There we go. They just arrive at night and land unopposed. Anyway, never mind. Maybe everyone's busy and they just haven't noticed. Anyway, it's a shame it wasn't well received when it first came out. Is that what you mean? Yeah, that's it. It didn't do that well, did it? Really? But I think it's an amazing film. I think it's really good. Right, so I've got 50 exabytes of info that they're going to take out of him that'll kill him. But anyway, she's going to get taken away. There we go. I think, is it Drake or Crow? One of them arrives. I think it's Drake. I don't know. I don't know. Can't tell which is which. But they take her away and they lock her in a room. They're down by the armoury on level 3, apparently. Yes, it was not well received. It is, because it is a really good film. I don't know why Neill Blomkamp films don't get the love they deserve. But anyway, I'm going to have to watch Gran Turismo, but that's not a sci-fi, is it? So maybe a bit different. Anyway, so they've locked Frey and Matilda in a storeroom or whatever. And now they're putting Kruger into a med bay, and they says he'll be pissed when he wakes up. He says, remember the cack that happened in India when he lost his legs, because they're all South African as well. And there he is. Look, his face is not looking well. Look, I won't dwell on it. It's gruesome, isn't it? But his face is going to get reconstructed really quickly. So off we go, and there we go. He's fine now. Look, skipped over that bit. I'll see if we can just have a quick. There we go. Facial reconstruction. There we go. Just, and it's mended. There we go. Sorted. How? I have no idea, but it just does it. It's magic. It's magic, isn't it? And he's fine. And he wakes up and he says, "Where is he?" Talking about Max, obviously, because he wants to go kill Max. But Max is getting ready to. They're going to sedate him and extract the information. But obviously, he's still got his mech suit on. Because I think they say, "Shall we take all this stuff off?" And he says, "It'll take a while because it's basically bolted to him, so they just leave it on." So anyway, so he uses the suit and he escapes, breaks out and beats them up. For some reason, let's say, takes this thing out of his mouth. For some reason, it's got really long tubes that go right in and got metal bits on the end. Why? Dunno. But anyway, beats them up. He says, "Where have they taken her? Level 3 armoury." And then he gets ill again, because remember, he's still going to die of radiation poisoning. But anyway. Meanwhile, Kruger is just sorting himself out. Delacour goes to see him. And he's had enough. She's playing pop with him. You've crashed a ship and all that stuff, and caused a scene. And what's going on there? Hang us both for treason. He says, "I'm sorry, I ruined somebody's lawn." But and then he stabs her because he smashed his. They were looking in the mirror. That's why we're all distorted. And he smashed it, and so there's some shards of mirror glass in the sink. He looked young also. I believe the bed was a nanobot bed, kind of like Jason X. Yeah, probably something like that, yeah. It's probably why they decided we'll set it in 2154 rather than like 2054. They thought, we'll have it, 150 years in the future-ish. Well, 140 years in it from when the film came out. Which is, long enough for them to have developed that sort of technology. I suppose you could say that, couldn't you? Even though there's cars that are probably like 200 years old on Earth, but anyway, that's probably why. That is probably. Anyway, so he stabs her, as we'll see. Hang on, where are we? There we go. He stabs her in the neck. So she's like, and did you know Sharlto Copley is the first person ever to kill Jodie Foster on film? She'd never been killed in a film before this. I didn't know that. So he was the first. And there we go. And he was really proud of it. In the far off future of 1999. In the year 2000, I don't know what you're on about Jason X. I can't actually remember. Well, no, because it were in, 2500 or so. It'd been there for 500 years or something. Then they found him. That's when they had the nano beds and stuff. And I don't know. But anyway, yeah, not so chirpy now, eh? Anyway, so she's dying. He tells Alice to look after her. Not Alice. Well, yeah, Alice. Frey to look after her. But they're going to go and get... he's going to put a mech suit on himself that's a nice, shiny, clean one. So he's going to go after Max. Meanwhile, Spider and his gang, they're working their way through Elysium. But anyway, she dies. There we go, she covers her up. And Max gets in touch with Spider. It picks up a thing and says, "Spider, you there?" He goes, "Yeah, I am." I say, "Oh, that's handy, isn't it?" But it says, "I'll meet you at the armory, etc." Right, so off he goes looking for Max. He finds Frey. No, an old Conan O'Brien coat. I don't know. So we don't get that over here. Whenever it were on. I don't think we did anyway. Where were we? Kruger sends Drake, Crow, one of them, I don't know, down to kill Frey. So there we go. So he's coming down to do that. But Max arrives. There we go, and throws him about. And I think he ends up dead. Throws him about, and the other one arrives and starts shooting a gun. So they're fighting away. I'm going, throw, hey! He's shooting a gun. He picks up a gun. I think he kills him because he's shooting at him. Pardon me. It's a rail gun he's got here. And he's shooting, he's going through the walls. And I think he gets him through the wall. Yes, he does. Yes, he shot his arm off and everything. And look, thought he had. So he's killed them two. Killed Doyle and Crow. Was that right? No. Drake and Crow. Where they get Doyle from? No idea. He's killed Drake and Crow. Says, right, let's get out of here. Going to send us to the surface. And said, get her to a med bay. So it won't work. Said, don't worry, I've got a plan. It will work. Even though he'd said that before, but she trusts him again. Said, I'll be right behind you. There he is with his rail gun, chem rail. Comes across Spider. There we go, and he tells Spider to send a fella up to help Frey get to a med bay. So he says, okay. So they've got to get to the control room or whatever. But somebody else going to get there. But this fella's going to get blown up. Kruger's fired one of his things at him, and he's going to get blown up here already. It's just a flesh wound, but so he gets blown up. There we go. Right, so off they go. So they've got Kruger on their tail. So anyway, they arrive on this gantry that's oddly got like cherry blossom trees for some weird reason. I've no idea why, but it's got these to make a nice working environment. I don't know, but they've got these here anyway in this very industrial area. But whatever. So they're going to have a fight. He's not well, so he collapses again, because remember his radiation. So they're going to have a fight. There we go. So he's using his sword on him, and lots of shaky camera work. But his sword goes flying, so he's lost that. So I think that's Spider. Spider gets his hand. Yeah, Spider gets his hand stabbed to the ground. But Max and Kruger keep fighting. Spider gets to her control thing, control panel on the door. There we go. So he's trying to open that door. Anyway, they both go over the balcony. Here we go. They're going to go over the balcony in a minute. They continue their fight. There's got all blood coming out of his hand. They both go over the balcony. There we go. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, goes over the balcony, but it grabs. There we go. Pulls the control thing out of the back of Kruger's head, so he can't control his suit anymore, or something. And then he knocks him up. No, chucks him over the railing. There we go. Down he goes and blows up, because I think he put a grenade in as well. So he's blown up Kruger. Kruger's definitely dead now. Don't think there's much left of him to. Could they scoop him up and put him on in a med bay? I don't know, but anyway, right. So, there's Frey running through the parklands of British Columbia. Is that the president? The president's still on his way out with his guards. The president's got human guards, by the way, not robot ones. Oddly enough. Right, they're heading to the control room. There we go. And they're plugging him in. And this is where he finds out now. This is where he changes Elysium citizenship authorization. It said illegal or something there, and he changed it to legal. Earth population, legal. But then now he finds out that it'll kill him to take it out. But that's where he tells it, we can sort this out, and but it'll kill you. So he says, okay, give me the thing to do it, to access it. So do it himself. He doesn't want to have Spider do the thing that'll kill him. He says, I'll do it myself. He says, okay, you just press that button there. So that's what he gives him. There you go, just press that button. So he does it himself, but he gets in touch with Frey first. Says, I'm going to have to break my promise. I can't make it back up there, and I'm all sorry. And remember what I told you. I'll get you up here one day, and all that stuff. All right, and he says he'll never guess what I'm looking at now, and he's looking at that. So right, so he presses the button, and dies. And they're all sad, but the president and his guards get in. But he dies, but it does it. It reboots the system, or the system's going to reboot in a minute. There we go. It's loading it all up. There we go. System reboots happening. It's all very low tech, innit, the displays. Justin says, I think why the movie didn't do well was the bad guys were not really a threat. I thought they were quite. I thought Sharto Copley were good. I thought the robots were good as well. But anyway, whatever. Kruger and Elysium were kind of weak. Oh. Elysium was. I thought Kruger were a really good bad guy myself, but up on Elysium they were pathetic, weren't they? Pretty much. But I said they had no defences out like that, did they? Anyway, so it shuts down. There we go. All the lights go. Pew! And then it reboots. And then all lights come back on again. And the system's been rebooted, and everybody's legal, and now Matilda's going to get cured. There we go. She's a citizen. Everybody's a citizen now, and she gets cured. And there we go. Acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and it cures her just like that. Reatomizing. If I saw that, I'd be like, hang on. But sparkly lights, and she's cured. But there we go. Here comes some robots. What's happening there? Yes. He says to this, arrest him. He says, I cannot arrest a citizen of Elysium. Why don't he get his human guards to arrest him then? I've no idea. But anyway, whatever. So everybody's a citizen of Elysium. Oh, he's got a thing on as well. Look, that must be a thing that all the people from Elysium maybe have. Do any of the others have it? I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, whatever. There you go. Guess who Elysium belongs to now? And then we see, because everybody's a citizen, apparently on Elysium they've got all these emergency medical things there that are just going to suddenly set off down to Earth and start curing everybody on Earth. Don't know how many they've got. At least one. I don't know. I imagine there's lots of them that are going to go down. And then people see them land and they all go running towards them. There'd be a riot, wouldn't there? It'd be mayhem. But anyway, all these medical ships are landing. Is this just in Los Angeles, or is it like everywhere in the world? I don't know. But anyway, so there we go. They've got all these, look. And it's a big ship, isn't it? It didn't look that big, did it? But so they're going to start curing all the people. And all that. There's a little flashback of... I think it is. A little flashback of Max and Frey. Yes, it is. As kids, and then the film ends, and everything's lovely. Everything's lovely on Earth now, or it will be. I don't know. You think they'd have some backup, wouldn't you? We'll just reset the computer again. We'll get the backups from off-site storage, reload them. Kruger had the attitude at bite, but very little bite. But still loved the film. I thought it was great. But I think that's the end. Just double check. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I don't think there's an after credits thing. Let's have a look. Quite long credits, isn't it? 1:42. So 7 minutes of credits. So that's not too bad. No, there's nothing after this. But yeah, great film. I love Elysium. I think it's really good. I think it's one of these overlooked films. It came out around about the same time as Oblivion, didn't it? With I think it did anyway. I could be wrong. With Tom Cruise. That's another one that's kind of overlooked. I think Elysium kind of edges it for me, but they're both decent films. Until they start curing things wrong, like Doctor Who. Doctor Who can't be cured. Anyway. So there we go, that's the end of Elysium. And by the way, they've got all these, they're on this space station, but there's all these like traditional mansions and stuff on it, which is a deliberate thing that Neill Blomkamp wanted. He got Sid Mead in to do, production designs and stuff for Elysium. And he kept designing the living areas, the mansions, as like these futuristic domes and, weird, spacey buildings. And Neill Blomkamp says, no, I just want like traditional mansions like we'd have on Earth, because they're like the super rich and they like their traditional stuff. But so that's what they did. That's why they've got like regular mansions on this space station. Anyway, I liked it a lot. It was great. Oblivion was good. Yes, it was good. It was good. Which I might do one day. So I've got it over there. Got it over there on Blu-ray. But anyway, yeah. So there we go. So that's Elysium. Great film. Give it a watch. Like I say, it's on Blu-ray. I think I've put a link in the description for. I think you can watch it on Prime and the other one, YouTube. I think you can rent or buy it. It might be on Prime, at least UK. To watch without renting it or buying it. I think. But anyway, so there we go. Yeah, great film, a great film. Another great film from Neill Blomkamp. What's his next thing? He's doing something else, isn't he, now? What is it now? Oh, I saw it. Oh, we're going to have to look it up now. Is he doing a remake of something? Let me have a look. News with Neill Blomkamp. Oh, my Starship Troopers. Yes, of course. I do, because I did a video about it, didn't I? Because I'm stupid. Yes, he's doing a remake of Starship Troopers, isn't he? I'm sure it'll be good because it's Neill Blomkamp. And I can imagine what it'll look like as well. But, and the bugs will look good. I don't know. Why remake Starship Troopers when it was done so well not that long ago? 30 years nearly. But, you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be okay. Just do District 10, Neill. Do District 10. Anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. Great film. I do. I love Elysium. I didn't have notes. Let's have a read of some of the stuff on trivia, IMDb trivia. Oh, the "Don't Breathe on Me, Cover Your Mouth" bit by John Carlyle, but ad-libbed by William Fichtner. Bless him. All right. So this answers my question from the beginning of the film. I said, so there's some really old people on Elysium. Yes, there are. Because it says here, the biography of John Carlyle, displayed by the computer, see, I wasn't paying attention, indicates that he was born in 2010, which makes him about 144 years old. So there you go. So it's the sarcophagus, isn't it, of Stargate, is the med bay. Anyway. John Carlyle wrote the reboot sequence in assembly language. What he's writing is valid code and can work. What do you mean can work? I'm sure it can do something, but what? I don't think it can reboot a space station, can it? Anyway. Oh God, Eminem. I can't just say Eminem, whatever. Matthew, I forgot his name. Eminem was offered the lead role in Elysium, but he turned it down because director Neill Blomkamp would not change its location from Los Angeles to Detroit. Oh, thank God for that. Anyway, so speaking of Diego Luna, we're going to see him again, aren't we, in Andor in next month, season 2 of Andor. Matt Damon had a daily 4-hour workout in the gym. Bless him. Well, me. Brazilians Alice Braga and Wagner Moura dubbed themselves in the Portuguese version of the film. This is TriStar Pictures' first big-budget release since The Mask of Zorro in 1998. So they didn't do a big-budget film for 15 years. Anyway, so there we go. Yeah, whatever. Why is it telling us that? I don't know. A white horse appears beside one of the cars during the scene when Kruger attacks Max's heist team. You can clearly see the horse at the 52 minutes 46 seconds mark. I never noticed, but, you know, so what? Anyway, right, we'll leave it there. Justice says it would be good, but doesn't need remade. No, not Starship Troopers. Doesn't need a remake. They've rebooted Batman and Spider-Man Batman and Spider-Man like 5 times each since Starship Troopers came out. That's true. Surprised it took this long. Yeah, Batman. Yeah, I was saying Berman. About Rick Berman from Star Trek. Wish I could get paid millions to work out and be given food. Yeah, it'd be all right, wouldn't it? Really, Eminem would not do it because it was not Detroit. That is ridiculous. I'm just glad that they didn't cave and say, okay, we'll set it in Detroit, because I don't like Eminem. But there we go. Right, we're done and dusted. What's coming up next? On Wednesday, we're up to 1991, aren't we, with my top 5 movies for every year since I was born. So that'll be fun. On Wednesday, and on Friday we've got a double bill, classic, Universal Monsters, House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, with is it Glenn Strange? I think it's Glenn Strange as Frankenstein's monster, Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman, and and John Carradine as Dracula, a terrible Dracula. I think he's horrible as Dracula. But anyway, so that's coming up on Friday. Justin says Point Break #1, and no, I don't think so. I can't get through it. That won't be in it. I'm sorry, Justin. I just can't get into that film. I'm going to give it another go though. Wingy said, we'd like to hear the tie-in rap he did for it though. I'm sure he would have done. Glenn Strange, a legend. Yes, it was a good Frankenstein's monster. better than Bela Lugosi. We all love Bela Lugosi, but his Frankenstein's monster wasn't the best, was it? It was snarling, wasn't it? Like that, wasn't it? Anyway. Right, we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. We're all for another week. I haven't decided what next week's Magnificent Monday is going to be yet. It might be Oblivion. Shall we do Oblivion next week? Yes, sod it. I'll dig it out. It's over there. Yeah, I'll go get it out now. Then I'll not forget. Oh, sorry, Princess. I nearly knocked you over then. Here we go. Seeing as we mentioned it earlier on, yeah, we'll do Oblivion. There we go. And it's got this weird case. The only one I've seen like this. It's a weird shaped case. Bizarre, isn't it? So yes, we'll do Oblivion next week. That's all it. Right. For me it is always about Point Break. You don't have to be sorry. We all have different tastes. It'd be a boring world, wouldn't it, if we all had the same taste. Right. We'll leave it there. All done and dusted. Right, so thanks for watching. Thanks, Win, Grace and Justin. I thought we might have had more people popping in, but because I didn't make it members only. I did it to subscribers, but you got to be subscribers for a while. But never mind. And Josh Temple, who's been lurking, is around. He's around somewhere. But we'll leave it there. Oh, yes, thank you, Win, Grace. You take care too. Well, you take care, Justin, as well, and lurking in the shadows, Josh Temple. You take care. Right, so thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. Hang on, trying to find it. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll say there.